but I just wanted to share with you some, I think, facts that might help understand some of the reliability improvements that we're making at JCP&L, but also the restoration process is always eye-opening for people, how it really works. So with that, we'll get started. One of the things I wanted everyone to understand is that JCP&L has a number of preventative maintenance and inspection programs that we perform on cycles. Some of those inspections include circuit inspections every 5 years, and what we do is we proactively identify and repair equipment as needed. Also, wood pole inspections every 10 years, and either reinforcing them or replacing them. We also have something called infrared scans or thermography, which allows us to detect hot spots. They're not visible to the naked eye, and we do that every 4 years. And based upon those inspections, we prioritize certain circuits, and we take measures to mitigate any issues. In addition, we have other reliability programs, vegetative management. You may have seen a number of trucks around doing vegetation management. This is on a 4-year cycle, and we remove hazard trees and emerald ash trees, ash trees that are subject to the emerald ash borer. We do that regularly, and we do that with the permission of the homeowners. And we remove overhang on our wires on the main lines, as you can see in the pictures. We also have a program called the Worst Performing Circuit Program, and we address any circuits that we feel are the worst performing, and there are a number of things that we do, whether it's replacing equipment or doing supplemental tree trimming if we find that the circuit is affected by trees, if it has a history of a lot of outages caused by trees. Sorry to have my back to someone here.
Before you go on, can you give us a definition of circuit?
What
do you mean by a circuit?
So each customer is tied to a particular circuit. So we have substations, and then out of those substations, there's different circuits. As you can see here, they're assigned circuit numbers that serve the customers. So this slide shows you the years when we have inspected or performed each of these different types of inspections. So you see a number. Most of the circuits, except for one that was done in 2017, have been done this year, are being done. Okay, so that's a schedule that we keep and we adhere to. In addition, we have what we call the IIP, or the Infrastructure Improvement Plan, also known as Reliability Plus. JCP&L applied to the Board of Public Utilities to invest in our infrastructure, and we requested $400 million to be implemented over 4 years. We received approval at this stage we received $97 million investment approval to be implemented over the course of 18 months to be completed by the end of 2020. So what's happening in Morris Township? We have enhanced vegetative management. So in addition to our regular cycle of tree management, we're doing extensive tree trimming to serve the Convent, Florham Park, Greystone, Morristown, and Whitney substations. And how that's determined is based upon the reliability of the circuits. That's how we choose. In addition, there's a device called trip savers. These are an advanced type of recloser. A recloser, if there is, let me slow down a little bit with this piece of it. The trip savers are, as I said, an advanced recloser. A recloser is on the wires so that if there's a momentary outage, the breaker can be reclosed. If it trips open, it can be reclosed automatically without a crew coming out to investigate and make repairs. These trip savers are going to be installed, 9 of them, in 2020 on those substations, Morristown, Florham Park, and Whitney. The idea being that, as the name trip saver suggests, it's saving the time for a crew to come out and find the problem and fix it if it's something that can be automatically fixed. So what is a sustained outage? What causes it? It's trees, it can be high winds, it can be rain, it can be a squirrel, some type of animal. So these are some of the things that we're doing, and we're going to be looking to do more in the future.
Carol, just to be clear, if you can go back one slide. Just to be clear for the public, so those substations serve different parts of town. So our town is not served by just one substation. but it's served by multiple substations, correct?
Correct.
And if
Correct.
the substation were to go out, you have the ability to move people over to another
Yes,
circuit,
there's
another
switching.
feed.
That's
through
called switching, right.
Okay,
So
I
sometimes
just
when
want,
there's.
I just want the public
No,
to
thank
be
you.
clear on that.
Thank you for that clarification. So yes, we do have the ability to switch. So if you hear the term switch, we're switching people from one circuit to another to make repairs sometimes.
Mhm.
So that's another thing that we do. There's more reliability improvements. So I mentioned before about the worst performing circuit issue. So we analyzed it and determined that more repairs, improvements were needed on these particular circuits. So there could be, I have a list of the things that we're doing, but it basically includes tree trimming if the outages were caused by trees, the installation of the trip savers, and equipment upgrades where needed. I think you might enjoy this slide. This is about our restoration process, and not everybody understands what happens when we have a storm. Sometimes it's frustrating when you're out of power and you think that the crew should just come and flip the switch and you could be put back on. But when we have a real storm, the first thing that we have to do, as you can see on this slide, is we have to determine where the damage is. And safety is our #1 priority, so we have to make sure everything is safe for our crews and also for the public. So that's the first thing that we do. And then as you go down the line, we repair high voltage lines so that essential functions are restored. If we don't start at the top, anything we do down by the distribution lines, by the homeowners, won't be effective, because if there's a problem up the line, we have to fix that first. Then we move down and we fix our, we want to make sure that we restore our critical facilities and hospitals. And then we get to the main feeder and distribution lines. Then we get to the customers and we restore the largest number of customers. And that is why it's so important to call in your outages so that the dispatch center sees where the most customers are out of power. And then we restore the individual homes. So this is just a picture of what's taking place during a storm. And again, when we know a storm is coming, we get the notices about hurricanes that are coming or other events, and we start planning right away. And we have staging sites, and that's a picture right there where we will have crews stage